have to tell me that little secret that you told me before we came to air about the business class seats and the coach seats on board these flights that he takes.
Okay, this is a regular plane. They call it Shepard One anecdotally, but that's not really its name.
Shepard One.
Shepard One, but it's a regular Alitalia plane. There is a business class. The Pope and his small entourage sits in it, and all of the journalists sit in the back and coach. However, the journalists pay business class fare to subsidize everybody else. So they complain they don't get very good food, they get uncomfortable seats, yet they're paying business class, but they're happy that the Pope at least comes back and visits them.
Oh, and gives them a blessing.
And gives them a blessing, so it's worth business class.
Leave for free. I would say that's worth the price of admission. But you also fill me in on the protocol, because when the President of the United States travels, he travels on board Air Force One. It is a specified aircraft for him with sleeping quarters, office quarters, communication quarters, security quarters, etc. Not so for the Pope.
No, we don't have this here. As I said, it's a regular chartered flight. They rent the plane from the airline, and whatever country is hosting the Pope, they use an airline from that country. Now, I'm intrigued that they're not using a Cuban airline here to take him from Cuba to the U.S. I bet you there's a reason for that. I'd love to find out what it is.
Well, maybe we're not at that restrictive phase yet, or the unrestricted phase yet, where a Cuban airliner can land in the United States. That might be the reason.
But as you mentioned, when he's here, he will fly American Airlines then.
And by the way, how does that happen? Do we know how American Airlines ends up with the contract to fly the Pope? Is that something the Vatican just checks the ticket prices and goes with the best
I wouldn't be surprised if he says, get us the most reasonable flight, but I don't think it hurts that the name is American.
Yeah, and of course his security detail is all part of that. But the pilots, those who work the flights, the flight crew, pilots, etc., are all the locals. They don't bring in their own special staff.
Yes, they have a few undercover people, but they use the regular staff, is my understanding.